What time is it?
It's time for the Horror Guys.
Yay!
I'm Brian.
What?
Just seeing if you're paying attention. I'm Kevin.
You are Kevin, and I'm Brian,
and I just totally bumfiddled Ryan.
We are the Horror Guys here on the HorrorWeekly.com podcast, episode 299.
We're going to talk about lots of new stuff this week.
299. We got to do something special for the 300th. Are you pregnant with anticipation?
Almost. A tricentennial.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Actually, it'll probably be about the same as the others, but it'll be awesome.
We might be announcing something new next week.
We might.
You could almost call it the Son of Horror Guys.
Mm-hmm.
If we were going to go with, classic
We're budding.
horror movie ways of doing it.
Yeah, like a creature that buds new creatures.
It's
been done in horror movies.
It has.
Yeah.
But this week, we got to do the usual stuff. We're going to talk about some new movies and some shorts. What do we got?
Oh, we got Inherit the Witch from 2024.
I've seen that with Spencer Tracy, right?
No, you're thinking of The Wind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's an indie kind of film. And another indie film, The Deserving. And then three more mainstreamish films. We got 2024's Hell Hole and Hostile Dimensions and Trap, M. Night Shyamalan.
I'll bet that one's going to be controversial with the other people's opinions.
Probably. He tends to stir controversy. People love his stuff or hate his stuff or like his stuff and have opinions about his stuff. We have opinions about this movie.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And then we got three short films, too, that are brand spanking new from this year.
That's the best kind.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nobody wants to wear old shorts.
Generally not.
No.
New shorts are better.
And as always, the show is brought to you by HorrorMonthly.com, where you can pick up all our reviews, plus our bonus reviews, every month in the magazine. You can get it as an ebook at Kindle or Apple Books or Barnes & Noble, any place that sells ebooks. And you can also pick it up in paperback a couple different places. Go over to HorrorMonthly.com, and right there on the cover page is this month's extra large issue.
And I've seen those paperbacks, and they're mighty snazzy.
Yeah, and all the back issues are there, too. You can go back. This is issue 36 is current. 37 will be out in about 2 weeks. And
nice.
That's a bunch of stuff.
It is. Yeah.
Not 299 episodes worth, but 3 years worth.
Yeah.
That's pretty sharp.
Right on it.
What are we going to start with movie-wise?
We should start with Inherit the Witch.
We should.
Because that's what I have up on my screen.
Inherit the Witch from 2024. Written and directed by Credo Alexander.
And stars him, too.
Stars him, too, along with Rohan Quine and Heather Cares. Hour and 25 minutes. Trailer in the show notes. And where did we find this one?
Where is it currently showing?
I don't know. I was going to look these up before the show, and I didn't.
We should do that.
Yeah. I had a comment last week from one of our Substack people that said, every time you do a movie, you should tell us where to stream it.
That is a good idea.
Because especially just last week, the first movie, I said where to stream it, and I was going to do it for the others and then forgot.
Yeah, we should make a note to always just do that.
I am such a slacker.
Right there in the headers, we could include that.
And as I type it into Just Watch, Inherit the Wind comes up, which is wrong.
We've already made that one.
Already made that joke.
Yeah.
It doesn't know.
Oh.
Oh, my.
Oh, no.
I've deleted the mail from the producer.
Whoops.
It's out there.
Okay.
Wait for it. Okay. Well, anyway, written by, directed by, yep. Spoiler-free what happens.
This was a story about witchery and family secrets and evil that lives a really long time. Starts out in 1984 and then flashes forward 30 years, which was 10 years ago. Time flies. Doesn't seem like 1984 was 40 years ago.
It is not coming out until the 24th of September.
Oh, okay.
They told us not to do the review until this week, so we're okay.
We're okay doing it this week.
It will be on. You could fill in the blanks here while I'm looking it up.
Okay. Well, the tie-in between the past and the present was interesting, and it does have a pretty cool wrap-up. And I say this because horror guy Kevin liked it quite a bit, and Brian was kind of cool on it. But you'll have to see it for yourself to decide.
And it really doesn't say where it's coming out, so maybe there's Not quite sure yet.
Okay.
But on the 24th, put it on your calendars. It will be out there.
And you should check it out, in my opinion.
Oh, it's worth watching, definitely.
Okay.
Well, it's 1984, and we see that it's Corey and Jesse's 14th birthday party. We watch grainy old footage of the party, and a woman there, she says she's putting a very special spell on Corey. But Rex, his friend, isn't even sure that he believes that. She takes some of Rex's blood and then drinks it.
Ew.
For his birthday, she gives Corey something shocking.
Yeah, and we don't get to see what that is.
Yeah, we don't
yet.
know what it was, but yeah. And then we fast forward to the present, where Rex and Corey are grown up, and they complain about Pamela, who almost married their father. The father has died, and all the weird relatives are coming out for the funeral. No one wants to see Fiona, the sister, but she's coming anyway. Well, we cut to Pamela, leading her coven in a ritual back in 84. And she talks a bunch of stuff, and it's all about living forever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Fiona, the sister, visits Corey at his place. Older Pamela does a spell. She's still a witch, and Rex is assisting her with it. They need to finish the spell with Corey and Fiona, or Pamela is going to die. The two of them, along with the Grand Witch, works on setting up a spell. The death of the old family will make her young again. Okay, so there's our plot, I think.
Yep.
The old witch is wanting to be younger, and she has to
immortality.
sacrifice a family.
Uh-huh.
And then we flash back and forth between Cody and Fiona arguing, and the witches doing their thing for a long while. When Fiona finally leaves, Rex uses magic to ambush her on the road, and he texts a photo of her unconscious body to Cody. And Cody calls 911, but old Pamela is the one who answers.
Well, that can't be good.
And lots of weird stuff happens at this point. There's possession and all kinds of things going on. And we'll stop there because you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and we don't.
Nobody's seen it yet. It's not out.
We don't want to spoil it completely.
All right, well, this is described as LGBT horror, but other than a few of the actors and characters being obviously gay, it doesn't really seem to affect the plot in any way.
No, it doesn't.
One guy's
Yeah.
boyfriend gets possessed, but
They could just as easily have been straight characters.
yes, they could have.
Yeah.
I
Which
just think
was-
the filmmakers were all gay, and they decided to just make the characters that way.
Which is good, because you can see that, gay people are just like other people.
Yes, it doesn't have to be a plot point.
Yeah.
Well, the characters here are kind of drab and uninteresting for the most part, I thought. The story is something about a witch wanting her inheritance from Cody and Fiona's dead father, but it's kind of talky. It's a little drawn out. The editing is kind of disjointed also, and the story is a little hard to follow at points. But it did all make sense in the end. It's an indie film. You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a heavy load to direct, write, and carry a major role in a movie.
Yes, it
that's
is.
That's a lot of work to do all three. But I thought he did a decent job with it for doing all three. And I liked the ending. Liked how things wrapped up. Wasn't perfect, but I was entertained. And that's what counts.
Yes.
Entertain me.
Yeah, I was looking at the IMDb
And
credits
this
for
one
all
does.
these people, and it seems like most of them have worked together on projects in the past.
Uh-huh.
I think this is the first one of their films we've seen.
Yeah, I think so. But
I didn't recognize any of these people from anything, but they've done others.
I wouldn't mind seeing other stuff.
So if you like this one, check them out there. They've got other stuff out there.
Yeah.
How about another indie film?
Okay.
How about The Deserving? Written and directed by Koka Singh Arora, stars Venkat Sai-Gunda, Simone Stadler, and Kelsey Stalter. Hour and 15 minutes. That's a fairly short film.
That's a shorty.
Neat poster, though.
Yeah, it was.
Well, what happened spoiler free?
Spoiler free, this had a great setting and a capable cast with good direction. Venkat Sai-Gunda was especially impressive, being the center of the movie as a mute with zero dialogue.
It's almost one character throughout, and he doesn't speak.
He doesn't say a word, yeah.
That said, it's not a silent film.
No,
There is talking.
There is other people that talk, and yeah. The script was a little bit disappointing to us because there's an element we figured out way too early. But the short runtime helps things move briskly, and we give it an overall thumbs up.
Yes. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Carter Sai opens the door and lets in a model. He's a photographer, but he doesn't speak at all, which she finds weird. And so do we, but it's a horror movie, so we go with it.
You get used to it.
He hallucinates himself touching her, but then when she reacts in real life, he stabs her to death with a pencil. And credits roll.
Well, that escalated quickly. Yeah, right off the bat, he's a killer.
Carter opens the door and talks to the postal worker using sign language. He uses sign language, and she's used to that, so he's not just silent with that model. He goes back inside, develops the photos of the dead model, and fixes himself lunch. And Kevin noticed something with this scene right here.
Seemed like it was digital cameras.
It's a digital camera, and
But
then he's
it's
in the back developing film.
the old style dark room with chemicals and paper and everything.
Yes.
But maybe you must have some way to convert it, or maybe some of the camera was film camera.
Could be.
Yeah.
Is there a hybrid kind of
But
thing?
but I noticed that. I was like, that really? That's a lot of work to do the chemicals and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Well, in the morning he takes a shower, gets dressed, and goes up to the attic where he puts his head in a noose. He's planning to kill himself. He puts on the noose and knocks over the chair, and well, suddenly there's someone banging on the door downstairs, and you can tell that he's trying to, he's kind of changed his mind. He struggles to get the noose off before he passes out. And then the next thing, he opens the door. He's downstairs. Made it out, he sees Lucy Hill there at the door. Well, she needs some headshots for her portfolio. And she's very talky and very pushy, and he grudgingly lets her inside. And he assembles his camera equipment slowly and carefully, but then drops it when he sees something horrible for half a second. And things just aren't quite right. His screen, there was something with his screen was down, and then he thought he put it down, and then it was up again, and yeah. Well, Lucy comes out of the bathroom, and, well, she doesn't want the photos right away. She wants a tour of the house. And he closes the door before she sees the dead body he has in there. She knows all about him and his family and his personal life. He's kind of a famous photographer, and she's done a lot of research.
Probably should stop there.
And we should stop
Yeah,
there.
they didn't know too much.
Yeah.
And this time I looked it up. It's not coming out until October 1st.
Okay.
Same story. So it's not really available right now. It just says it's going to be coming to streaming on October 1st.
Okay.
So keep an eye on it. It's good.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I thought so.
you can't watch it today.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, let's see here. We assumed from the get-go. We
can't-
made an
can't spoil
assumption.
that. Yeah,
we made an assumption.
Yeah.
And we waited for the film to prove us wrong. Did they?
No.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Venkat Saigunda as Carter is mostly a one-man show here, and he does really well, although he has no dialogue. Simone Stadler as Lucy babbled so much I'd have killed her myself.
She is a babbler.
But she played the part well.
yeah, she did.
Later, when she was more malevolent, she stopped being so annoying. And the ghost makeup here is really well done. Mm-hmm. It's well shot, well lit, and the setting inside the old house works well. The lack of dialogue makes it feel like an international short film, but it's not. It does feel like it could have been shorter. The bits with the ghosts and the flashback felt about maybe 15 minutes like too much of the same stuff over and over, but overall it was a good film and we liked it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a limited story. But
Yeah.
it was fine. Yeah, like I said before, it entertained me, and that's what matters.
Now, I'm not saying it should have been a 5-minute short, but
No,
it could have been
no,
much
certainly
shorter.
not. Yeah, it could have worked that way.
Which
but,
it's only an hour and 15 minutes to begin with, so yeah, that might be a little excessive.
Yeah, but overall, give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the performances and the movie overall.
So we recommend when you're trying to find these movies, look at justwatch.com. We don't get anything from them. We're not sponsoring them or commercials or anything. It's just a neat site. You type in, there's a little line at the top, and where you type in, like the next movie, Hellhole.
2 words.
Hellhole, 2 words, yes. It is, and it tells us that it is available on Shudder or AMC Plus.
Okay.
So yeah, and that's a free site. You don't have to pay anything. Sometimes it won't have a movie, like the 2 that we just talked about that aren't available yet, but most things are on there, even old movies.
Yeah, it's good site.
Yeah. Well, okay, that takes us to Hellhole 2024, directed by John Adams and Toby Poser. Written by John Adams, Lulu Adams, and Toby Poser. You've heard of the Adams family before. They've done things that we have reviewed. The mother, the father, and the daughter, they get together and they make horror movies. Mm-hmm. What was that last one? Oh, I can never think of the name.
The one with the 2-person band. Wasn't it? The witch,
Yes,
the
yes,
witch,
yes.
The witch mother.
Witches out in the forest.
Hellbent.
Hellbent. Maybe?
No. Hell something. It was a witch and a witch mother and a witch daughter, and they were just living out in the woods by themselves and had a 2-person rock band going. And Had a good thing going for a while.
And of course, if you type into Google Addams Family, you know that other group comes up.
Oh, of course.
Even though it's spelled differently. I know it's spelled differently.
Mm-hmm. Hellbent? Hellraiser. Not Hellraiser. Hell something.
I gotta maybe do IMDb, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hellhole.
Well, I'm going to continue on to say this stars Olivia Perunisic, Bruno Veljanovsky, and John Adams. And the runtime is an hour and 32 minutes.
Hellbender.
Hellbender, yes.
And some other stuff, too. Mm-hmm. They've done a lot of things.
And there's some familiar faces that you recognize from both movies. Good stuff. They do good work.
Yeah.
Well, spoiler-free, this was an entertaining creature feature. The setup is a little bit familiar with a group of people trapped in an escalating situation, but it was well done with enough uniqueness to keep it interesting. A mix of CGI and practical effects got the job done really well, and it's filmed in a perfect setting. It's like an isolated mining area for real, really run down and desolate, and we give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, it was good. We're told that in 1814, in Serbian territory, a group of Napoleon's troops run into some trouble. We see a group of soldiers in the woods take a horse away from a witchy-looking woman. The soldiers then prepare to kill the horse when some strange creature bursts out of the horse and kills the men with his tentacles. Credits roll.
Did you recognize who the older soldier was?
I did.
Yeah.
After I read the credits.
Vampire guy.
Anders Hove, who plays Radu in the Bloodstone series.
Uh-huh.
He's gotten a bit older.
And it was just a small role. But
Yeah.
Look, it was like that meme where...
It's that guy, yeah.
it's that guy. Is that look.
Pointing with popcorn, right, yeah. Well, this was formed in Serbia. So, yeah, that's where he lives. So why not get a local star?
Yeah.
In the modern day, Emily comes to work at the drill site. John arrives and says that the roads are flooded, so they're all stuck here for a while. Oh, that sounds like a plot point.
It does, yeah.
John and Emily are Americans, brought here to find oil, but Sophia, the conservation science student, is more interested in biological research in the deep soil. Teddy, Emily's nephew, is the camp cook, and he makes spicy Indian food way too often for their tastes.
He does other stuff, too. But.
Sophia likes Teddy and volunteers to let him cook. And we're also introduced to this Serbian scientist guy who's in there with them, and he talks throughout the whole movie. He's a character in the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
At no point does anyone say his name, and he doesn't appear in the credits.
So he's a mystery.
He's the scientist guy.
The scientist guy, yeah.
The drilling commences.
And there's a motley crew of Serbian workers. Yeah.
The drilling commences. Almost immediately, they hit something that releases smelly gases. The drill comes up with some kind of bloody, fleshy material.
Well, that's not right.
Then they dig up something else, a body. But the body then comes to life and crawls out of the ground, speaking French, and all the work stops.
It's it's the younger soldier from the 1814.
From the exploding horse incident.
Yeah, how the heck is he still alive?
Teddy sorta kinda knows a few French words, and he tries to talk to the Frenchman. The man has some kind of parasite inside him, and Sophia thinks it's some kind of worm. She wants a sample. It pokes out of his nose, and then from his ear. It's not a worm.
No, it's more than that.
The man uses hand signals to ask John to kill him. When John refuses, the man gets all tentacly, and that's a word now, right?
Tentacly.
Tentacly?
Yes.
And attacks John. John ends up swallowing the thing as it crawls down his throat. The Frenchman then turns into a dead mummy when the thing leaves him.
Yeah, that's what was sustaining him, which is kind of a neat effect. Yeah.
Hundreds of years buried in the dirt.
Yeah.
Yay.
Uh-huh.
Emily quickly notices that John smells like the hole.
Yeah, there's a distinct odor to this thing, and whoever it inhabits.
Yeah, and hilarity ensues.
Yeah, hilarity does ensue. Yeah.
Well, the dialogue in most cases is delivered as if this was a comedy, but it's not.
It was.
I mean, it's got
strange.
a couple of funny lines to it, but it's like they filmed it as a comedy and then decided to change the soundtrack or something.
It's pretty grim and serious.
Most of the dialogue is delivered by Serbians. A little hard to tell their acting abilities. It's essentially a Parasite movie along the line of Alien or The Thing,
Sorta.
but it's
Sorta,
done in
kinda.
Serbia instead.
But it's different too.
They couldn't afford Antarctica.
It's not exactly like either of those.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's got its own parts. It's low budget, clearly, but it is very well made. The creature is interesting, and we see enough of it to do the job. The CGI tentacles aren't great, but the physical prop that they used was pretty cool.
Yeah, it gets the job done.
Yeah, overall, it's not great. I mean, Alien or The Thing is certainly better.
Yeah.
But we were entertained.
I'm going to go with this as my favorite of the week, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't given it that much thought yet. Mm-hmm. All right. We're
And-
going to have to go through the other two movies.
And I don't think it's too spoilery because we already said that the thing.
It's in the trailer.
The thing, went from the Frenchman to John.
Yeah.
And then at some point, not too far past that, I thought it was a very cool moment where John knows that the thing is inside him, but it appears that the thing is preventing him from fully, just coming out and saying, kill me, I'm infected.
He's got this long conversation with a guy.
And there's a couple lines where he switches, where he's talking from first person view of the parasite. Like when he held a knife on me, and then I was trying to strangle him, and I don't remember the exact wording, but it's like, that's the parasite talking, like first person.
Yeah, it's not a dumb worm.
It was just a couple of lines, but like, that was so cool. Yeah. Anyway, I like this one a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my favorite of the week is this next one, Hostile Dimensions from 2024.
Was also very cool.
Written and directed by Graham Hughes, stars Annabelle Logan, Jorna West, Josie Rogers, and Patty Kondracki. Ooh, I like that name, Patty
Yeah.
Kondracki.
Yeah.
Hour and 20 minutes. Trailer in the show notes. And this one is, this is not a free streamer. This is available on Apple, but you got to pay for it.
Okay. Apple Plus.
Spoiler free. Seemed like a small budget film, but they managed to fit a lot into it. They take an interesting basic idea and make it even more interesting and strange as things go along. The found footage and documentary style of it fit perfectly, and the cast did a nice job with the script, and we both liked that a lot.
Yeah, it was a cool one.
We start with some graffiti artists exploring an abandoned building. Emily and Brian find a door, standing all alone, freestanding in the middle of the room.
And it looks really out of place, too, because it looks
It's clean.
nice and new and clean.
Yeah.
In a really scuzzy, rundown, abandoned place.
Well, Brian wanders off and then hears Emily scream. That door is now open, but she's gone. He looks through the door, and the space on the other side is different somehow. Something from the other side grabs him. It looked like the little hamburger helper man, you notice?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Sam and Ash talk about the found footage of Emily's disappearance. They want to take the story and make a film about it. Ash thinks it's a stupid idea, but she goes along with it anyway, and they start researching Emily, who is well known in graffiti circles. Sam and Ash go to interview Brian, who acts strangely right away. He explains that he's been working on a documentary project and tells them about the door. He suggests they leave that door alone, but he tells them also about nuclear waste disposal and how they're all surrounded by warnings to keep people away. The door may lead to something almost that bad. Well, the two girls bring the door home to their apartment, which I thought was just funny. They just pick up this door and carry it with them.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
They eventually get the courage up to open the door, thinking it's all just a joke. Inside the door is a mirror.
And they immediately think, they silly people, they just saw their own reflection and got spooked.
Ash then touches the mirror, and it feels weird. Suddenly, Sam's mother shows up in the reflection, but she isn't there in reality. Later on, we find out she's dead.
Yeah. And I think it was Sam's mother that closed the door, not them. But I wasn't sure it happened so quick. But anyway, they close the door and reopen it, and then there's a little doggy there.
It talks to them.
Yeah.
And they close the door in disbelief. Well, the two do a brainstorming session to help them figure out what the door actually is, and they come to the conclusion that it's a gateway to other dimensions. Can we go through the door? The next morning, they send a remote-controlled car through the door. The other side of the door is a restaurant play area called Pandemonium. And it's empty and it's normal looking.
Yeah, it looks
They
harmless.
go through themselves next, and they all yell for Emily. Ash is nervous about being in this place, but Sam seems right at home in the fun play place. They follow signs that say free hugs to a giant stuffed panda that then sprouts tentacles and chases them back to the door.
Okay, yeah, that escalated in a bad way.
Back in the apartment, they're safe again. Late that night, something pounds on the other side of the barricaded door.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's a stopping place there.
I think so, yeah.
Well, the cast is small, and the budget looks even smaller.
Yeah, they go to see a professor who joins up with them.
Yeah.
A guy named Ennis, and hilarity ensues.
Still, it is an interesting concept, and it's done seriously enough that it's very entertaining.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's
Yeah.
well-paced and never slows down enough to get boring. I could have done more of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very weird, and also pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah.
It is low budget. It doesn't look great, but it's well done.
Yeah, they did a lot with what they had. Yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome. And
I'm going to call this my favorite of the week.
Okay, I close second. Yeah, special effects are effective. Cast is good. Yeah, all around entertaining. Liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2024's Trap. Written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Stars Josh yeah, I said Shyamalan right, but I can't say Hartnett.
Hartnett is hard.
Josh
Yeah.
Hartnett, Ariel Donahue? I don't know. I'm lost now. And Salika Shyamalan. Hour and 45 minutes. Trailer in the show notes. Spoiler free. We went into this blind. You know how Shyamalan is. He's always got the twist, right? Mm-hmm. You expect the twist with
You
him.
expect a twist. You go into it.
I didn't even see a trailer for this.
Okay.
So, did you?
I had seen a trailer, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The trailer didn't spoil much. I didn't think so.
Well, we went into it blind so we could be surprised by the twists and turns. And as usual with M. Night's movies, that turned out to be the best way to go in. So maybe you don't... Well, we're not going to spoil it.
No, we won't.
The cast is good. The story moves well. Salika Shyamalan, his daughter, really is a singer, and I thought she was pretty good. I'm sure that she's going to be very criticized and, oh, it's terrible.
And he's only doing this so that to make his daughter a famous singer.
Well, I'm not saying that isn't true.
Well, it'd certainly give her a boost. I mean, she's been a singer for a
When
while.
it was over, the music is the only thing that stuck with me for the
Yeah,
most part.
but she has been a singer for a while, and but this certainly helped people be aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us a start. How's it begin?
Well, Riley and her father Cooper are going to a concert. This is Lady Raven. They arrive early enough to see her get out of her bus. There's a big line, and as they wait, they talk about Riley's former friends who are starting to ignore her more and more. And there was some incident at school, and there's some roughness at school for her.
Mean Girls.
Yeah. Well, as they walk to their seats, Cooper notices lots of security and armed guards.
Yeah, this is like the first 10 minutes of them getting there and arriving, and it all seems very normal. Except
yeah.
for these extra guards.
It does seem heavily guarded. Yeah, heavy security. Well, all the kids are starstruck with teen idol Lady Raven. But Cooper's a little bit old for this stuff. He's not the only parent there, of course, but he seems out of place among the cheering young people.
All these kids are around him, and they don't even come up to his armpits.
Yeah. Well, he has to make a bathroom run, but Riley stays in her seat. He checks his phone and watches a video of a man in chains.
What?
Yeah, right off the bat. Well, he runs into Jody's mom, one of Riley's little friends, who apologizes for her daughter's treatment of Riley. Well, meanwhile, lots and lots more police start surrounding the arena. And as the show progresses, Cooper doesn't understand what all the police are there for. On a break, he asks one of the vendors, Jamie, why they're all there. He says the butcher, a serial killer, is supposed to be here tonight, and the police have set a trap for him. Well, Cooper starts looking more nervous after that conversation, and noticing the exits are all blocked off by cops.
Let's stop there.
Yeah, let's stop there.
Now, that sounds like you just gave away a big twist, but we're like 10, 15 minutes in.
Yeah, and if you watch the preview and read the description, you know that this is what it's about.
And I'm sitting there like, oh, he's the serial killer, isn't he?
Well, is he?
Maybe. That's certainly the way it was looking for a while.
He has a guy chained up in well, don't know if it's a basement. It's a room,
Doesn't everybody?
He's watching this captive on video.
Well, again, I went into this blind after hearing about the usual Shyamalan bashing that all his films seem to get. everybody hates him because I don't know why.
Well, not everybody. Clearly, he's making money and keeps making more. Not everybody hates him.
I mean, he's made some movies that I didn't like, but I don't generally hate all his movies.
No, more, I like him more though often than not.
Yeah. And his daughter, Salika Schmellion, sings all the songs for real, and she's actually quite good. We are very quickly led to believe that Cooper is the butcher, but knowing Schmellion's requirement for a twist, we assume there would be more to it than that. The cops know all about the butcher, and they know he's attending the concert, but they don't have a photo of him, or the story would be a lot shorter.
Yeah, they would just go, there's 3,000 adult men here or something like that.
Yeah.
There are thousands of adults.
I thought their plan seemed weak at best. What city even has that many cops?
Boy, that was a lot of police. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of cops.
If anybody wanted to commit a crime in that city at that time, all the cops were at the stadium.
I mean, there's this profiler who thinks he's going to be there, and she got to be pretty persuasive to get the chief of police to assign that many cops to one project,
All the cops. Yeah.
when there's very low chance of him actually getting caught. Well, we were expecting a twist at the end, and, well, I'm not going to say.
No, don't say.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it has some flaws if you think about it too closely, but overall, I thought it was good. Yeah. I'd rank it in his movies that I do like.
Oh, yeah,
I haven't liked all his, but I liked this one.
he did The Village, didn't he?
I liked The Village a lot. That might be one of my favorites of his.
Oh, I know, this The Happening.
Yeah.
I always get The Village and The Happening confused because of the
Okay.
word the.
Yeah. Yeah. The Happening, I didn't care for too much
No,
for.
that was dumb.
And Lady in the Swimming Pool, I didn't care for
I don't think
too
I saw
much.
that one.
Yeah, that was not my favorite either. Yeah.
Old got a
But-
lot of criticism. We did Old on this show.
I liked Old.
I thought Old was fine, but
Yeah.
I mean, the more you think about it, the stupider it gets. But it was entertaining.
And the I See Dead People movie.
Oh yeah,
What
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. Yeah,
Well, that's a
like that
classic.
one.
Everybody likes that one.
Like that one a lot. Yeah. So his little hit and miss. I would call this one a low hit.
A low hit. Okay.
Yeah, liked it.
All right. Now for our low hits. I mean, our short films for the week.
Short hits.
Gnosis from 2024. And this is weird because it had no real credits to it. It's just a YouTube video.
Because it's all computer.
Yeah. It's directed by Zach Johnson, and he gives the little, I guess it's a Twitter handle, at Resemblance AI.
Okay.
And stars nobody because it's animated, although there is a couple actors in it.
I'm not sure.
You don't think that scientist guy was real?
I'm not sure that he was real.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, there's no credits, so he might not
There's
be.
no credits, and I don't know.
Okay, well, it's
Yeah.
9 minutes and 20 seconds, and you can watch it on YouTube right now for free. And we are told about a discovery in the 22nd century that would allow humans to pierce the veil between other dimensions. And then we're told we were woefully unprepared for the horrors that awaited us. 30 years prior to that, the scientist records a visit to his lab. He explains his work is going to change everything that we know about reality. He calls it an astral lens. It can capture images from realms other than ours through quantum physics. And it does, in fact, change what we know about reality. But then something goes terribly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, hey, that was depressing.
Yes, it was. Yeah, but good. I
it-
mean, a good story. I will give it a good story.
Okay, apparently we debate on this next part here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mix of AI-generated images, live-action actors, and a lot of narration.
Yeah, I'm
and
not
we
sure.
are questionable whether there are any live actors.
Or it is, some of it is very good AI with where you can't tell for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know AI when you see it for the most part, but
For the most
this
part,
is good
yeah.
enough, maybe not.
A couple slides.
It looks good, and the story develops at a good pace. It's told in the style of a narrated history lesson rather than an actual story with characters, much like a book or movie's prologue. The visuals and creature designs are very cool and have a definite cosmic horror vibe to them.
Oh, for sure, cosmic horror. Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to have detractors since it's, made from AI. There's no doubt this is an AI movie. But I suspect it's an early taste of things that we're going to get a lot more of in the future.
And I'm going to sit here and say that I am one of those detractors.
You didn't like it?
Oh, the AI is obvious, and it just has there's this core sameness to it over and over. The visuals are interesting, but it's just like a slideshow of AI clips with a narration.
Some of the things move.
No,
Yeah, there's animation
Oh,
to
it's
it.
not just stills. Yeah.
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 I mean, you know AI when you see it for the most part.
Yeah.
And all the AI things tend to look alike in certain ways.
There might have been one real person in it, and the narrator might have been real.
Oh, I'm sure the narrator was probably real.
Are you?
Well,
I'm not sure.
no.
Yeah.
No, I'm really not.
Yeah. I'm kind of lukewarm on it.
See, this is where I am saying this is the way things are going. I mean, we may not like it, but I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this stuff.
And that disappoints me. Yeah. I'd rather see real people. But I think it's a close neighbor to my bias against cartoons.
You hate cartoons.
I'm generally just really meh on animated and cartoons.
But at least cartoons take, real talent of art for the most part.
At least
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I did like it, but I'm sure that there's going to be plenty of disagreements on this one.
I'm going to give it a meh. Yeah.
Take 10 minutes, watch it, send us your comments.
See what you
email
think.
at horrorguys.com.
Is this the way of the future and you want more of it? Or should we?
Well, we're not going to make them, but
No. But, you can register your opinion. Yeah.
yeah, we complain about all these movies, and yet we don't have the talent to make one ourselves.
Well, we could. We got an iPhone. Didn't you watch the special iPhone event? You can make movies, music videos. You can do everything with an iPhone camera now.
You're not the weekend. Short film, Night Train, 2024. Written and directed by A.J. Serrano. Stars Daniel Gerdo and Cairo Zion. 5 long minutes. It's not long minutes.
It was short.
It's good.
Yeah, it was good.
And you can watch this nowhere. It's on the festival circuit, so there's no streaming of links available yet. But it'll be coming, I'm sure, eventually.
Yep, I bet there will be.
If you do the horror festivals, watch for Night Train. What happens?
Well, 2 boys walk home late at night. They're going to be late. The one keeps saying that. We're going to be late. Well, they hop the turnstile and run through the subway, and they do manage to get on the train before it's too late. The older boy mentions that there's a ghost station at the end of the line. It's said to be there's an old man there who's been waiting for a train for 100 years, trying to spook his friend. And the trick is, if they announce final stop, everybody get off. And then the train loops around through this dead zone, and then it starts again at the beginning of an active train station. So they decide, well, let's stay through and ride through that dead zone at midnight. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong, yes.
Yeah.
It's well shot and well acted. The plot is very clear what's going on, and the story makes perfect sense. I doubt I'd be as calm as the younger kid at what happens at the end, but his reaction just adds to the effect. Mm-hmm. He's not quite right.
It was cool.
Yeah, it's a very, very cool movie, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
All right, and the last one for this week is Prom Car 91 from 2024, written and directed by Brian F. Ottig, stars Yuri Lowenthal, McKenna Marmolejo, and Michael Lair. 11 minutes and 11 seconds.
And I'm going to call this perfect. One of the best shorts ever.
Really?
Yeah. Of my shorts, I don't have a cohesive list where I've compiled, my favorites, but clearly this is,
way up top of your list.
Yeah,
huh?
I loved this one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was really good. It's my favorite short of the week, but I don't know that it's the best of all time.
Well, not best, but in the handful of best shorts that I've ever watched. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get to tell us what happens.
Well, it's prom night, 1991. The retro was perfect in it. Carrie thinks this might be the night she and Donovan are finally going to do it. They've been dating for years, and it's finally time. She asks her parents if they want to take a photo of her in her prom dress, but there's no answer.
They don't even come to look.
Yeah, so she leaves. It's going to be a great night. He's there to pick her up. Well, after the dance, the two do plan to do it in Don's dad's minivan.
They both crawl into the back seat.
Well, surprising both of them, there's some screaming from outside.
And things
then
devolve.
Stuff happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
She narrated.
They're parked in like a lover's lane kind of place.
Yeah.
And they're about to, and then there's screaming.
Yeah, and she narrates the whole movie as she goes along. And at one point, he looks over and asks her, "Who are you talking to?"
And she's like, "Oh, you can see that?" Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the moral of the story seems to be don't mess with girls named Carrie on prom night, which is always good advice.
Yeah, it is.
Well, the way Carrie narrates the whole thing and breaks the fourth wall is fun. It's like we're in on the action. Since she and Don are voyeurs of themselves, why can't we be too?
Mm-hmm.
The note writing between the two of them in the back seat was hilarious, but the whole thing is, really. Sometimes watching and listening isn't as much fun as it sounds. And there's a fight, and the choreography here is really good and lots of fun to watch. Definitely a winner.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, we both like this one.
Watch this one, I insist.
Kevin's special favorite.
Yep, one of them.
All right, well, that's it for this week. I'm going to say of the bunch, my favorite was Hostile Dimensions, although I really kind of like Trap as well.
I'm going to go with Hellhole still as my favorite of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, like that one. Hostile Dimensions a second place, and Trap third place.
Yeah. All right, well, anyway, we are going to post these up on horrorweekly.com for our weekly newsletter, and you can read the entire synopses with spoilers for all of these if you want to. And also at horrorweekly.com, if you become a paid subscriber, you get our bonus newsletter once a month, which is going to be coming out in the next week or so. Bonus newsletter, bonus podcast episode. And we're really going to go ape with this one. That's all I can tell you.
Nice.
But next week, episode 300, we will have more movies, more shorts.
Okay.
All right. I'm Brian.
And I'm Kevin.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.